Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. Today is going to be a jam-packed update because we're going to be talking about Darth Maul and Kenobi Season 2. Did a Lucasfilm employee / artist accidentally leak plans for a second season? Tsuneo Sanda, a Japanese artist who's worked on the Star Wars franchise in the past, he's worked for Disney, he posted this to Twitter. This is not an April Fool's joke, this was posted 4 days ago, in the middle of October, so if you're thinking this is some kind of prank, it isn't. He says, quote, "In Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2, it seems like the one who was supposed to have their torso sliced open will make a comeback. I wonder if Maul will appear with a similar body to Vader's, after all." Now I noticed Eckhart Slader also picked up on this, and because this guy is directly affiliated with Lucasfilm, Star Wars fans were shocked. And they were like, did this guy just reveal that there's going to be a Kenobi Season 2? Did he accidentally spill the beans and he didn't know he wasn't supposed to? And if so, is Maul going to be in it? Now, I have to be honest with you guys, I am in two minds about this. On the one hand, I think he might just be speculating. He attached a piece of his own artwork, and he might just be having fun. He might just be putting it out there that if Obi-Wan has a second season, Maul might return. He might not be saying this as a matter of fact. At the end of the day, he's also a fan, and he was just posting his artwork with a fun what-if scenario. And also note, he describes Maul as the one who had his torso sliced open, and theorizes what he's going to look like. So he probably didn't see the Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels, and isn't aware that Maul already came back. Not just this, he has his own show coming up, Maul Shadow Lord, which of course is set after the Clone Wars Season 7, and before he appears on Malachor in Star Wars Rebels. So if he did know something about Kenobi Season 2, I would expect him to be up to date on the fact that Maul is already confirmed to be alive. And look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong if you haven't seen any of the animated content, but if you're talking about someone who would be in the know about a Kenobi Season 2, and they're saying Maul is going to be in it, you'd expect them to know that. But let's say he's being serious. Let's say he accidentally spilled a secret. If Maul was to come back, and it was in the time frame of just after Kenobi Season 1 and before A New Hope, Lucasfilm has to be very careful with how they handle this, because there are certain things they can do and certain things they can't do. Unless they do an adaptation of the Twin Sons episode of Rebels, Maul cannot confront Kenobi. Obi-Wan's storyline, presuming he stays on Tatooine, has to stay separate from Maul's story. But considering they're already doing a Maul show, if we did get a Kenobi Season 2, I really doubt they would bring Maul back again, because I think Shadow Lord is going to answer a lot of our questions. It's going to fill some very important gaps. His relationship with the criminal underworld, I'm sure some solo connections, we've heard rumours about Dryden Voss, and it's also been implied that one of Maul's obsessions during this time is tracking down Vader. Because as we know from the Clone Wars Season 7, the one person Maul wants to kill to really get revenge over Palpatine and the Sith plan is the Chosen One. I wonder if he's gonna fight Vader. And the reason I say this is there is a major hint at the end of Rebel Season 2 that this duel already took place, and Vader bested Maul. When Maul knows that Vader is coming to Malachor, he confidently states, "I cannot defeat him alone," implying he's already tried. So whether it's in Shadow Lord or Kenobi Season 2, if they ever make it, could Maul appear, and could his storyline overlap with that of Darth Vader? But setting a possible Kenobi Season 2 aside, let's go back in the timeline and talk about Maul Shadow Lord, the animated Star Wars show coming in 2026. I think it's going to change everything we thought we knew about the character. And as Sam Witwer teased at Star Wars Celebration, this show is going to humanize Maul. He's not a good guy. That he made obvious. But in trying to get revenge over Sidious, he is driven by his pain. And this series is going to allow us to get inside his head. It's set a year after the events of Mandalore in the Clone Wars Season 7, and it's a period of time where he has his fingers in different pies. On the one hand, he's dealing with being the boss of the 5 crime syndicates, which following the defeat of the Shadow Collective includes Crimson Dawn, Black Sun, the Crimora, the Hutts, and the Pike Syndicate. With the siege of Mandalore, the Shadow Collective fell apart, but Maul retained his great influence on the underworld. And aside from his more professional dealings, there are also his personal ambitions, tracking down Vader, and it's also a period of time where Maul takes on a new, mysterious apprentice. But one of the reasons this character is so important is in some ways she is a predecessor to Kira, who Maul doesn't meet for another few years. I don't know how long Maul's Shadow Lord is going to span, I don't know if it's going to cover multiple seasons and several years, but we do know it's a bit too early for Kira. But there is another fascinating canon event in Maul's life that I hope they eventually adapt for the screen. It first featured in the short story published in Stories of Jedi and Sith, titled The Ghosts of Maul. And in this story, Maul is spoken to by the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn before he confronts Kenobi on Tatooine, before he lured Ezra as a trap for Kenobi. The book says this: during the Imperial era, Maul became obsessed with the destruction of Sidious and Vader, and seeking revenge over Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Knowing how difficult the task at hand was, and knowing he could not underestimate either enemy, Maul scoured different planets in search for an advantage, and sometime between 19 BBY and 5 BBY, one of these excursions led Maul to the planet of Damenos, the site of an ancient Sith castle in the Outer Rim, and there he encountered visions of unexpected familiar faces. The first person he interacted with was a vision of Savage Opress, his brother, who claimed to reject Maul for being neither his brother nor his master. The vision began to mock him, and this led to a duel. Maul turned away from him and swung his blade at the vision's feet. Eventually, Maul told the Spectre that what he was doing was for him, his brother, and to avenge what the Sith did to his family. After descending deeper into the castle, Maul confronted a fake General Grievous, and finally, in the center of the temple, he encountered what is believed to be the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn. The book kind of implies it's just a vision, but there has been a bit of fan debate about this. Nonetheless, the Jedi Master who Maul killed in The Phantom Menace made him an offer. He said, "I'm here to offer you a choice. I want you to leave this castle, forget it exists, and take your first step on the path towards a different destiny." "I see," Maul responded. "And what path is this? The path of a Jedi? I thought you were above such narrow considerations. Jedi and Sith, light and dark. There is more to this galaxy than that. Free yourself of the prison of your own making." Maul, of course, ignored this advice, and when Qui-Gon Spectre left him, he could no longer feel the dark power that lured him to the castle in the first place. But when he left the planet, he continued his path of vengeance, and this makes his confrontation with Kenobi and Rebels ever more tragic, because it's the embodiment of the Confucius Analect that if you embark on the path of revenge, dig 2 graves, you end up hurting no one but yourself. And this is one of the reasons Kenobi felt sorry for Maul, as he held him in his arms, as he looked up and asked Kenobi if Anakin is the chosen one. Obi-Wan confirmed, and Maul said, "He will avenge us." And finally, my dear friends, Hondo Ohnaka might also be about to make his return. When Jim Cummings was asked directly if he's going to appear in the upcoming show, he responded with, "I think you're going to have to stay tuned, because Hondo is not done yet." Considering Maul during this time is leading the 5 criminal syndicates, and the series is going to give us so much of the underworld, everyone's favourite pirate is destined to at least be mentioned. I'm very excited. Are you guys? Share your thoughts and your theories in the comments down below.